Okay, so we are live. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you if you are in Nigeria, and good morning or good evening, as the case may be, if you're in other parts of the world. Today, we are having another conversation, a very topical conversation, the one that really touches many individuals. Let me not use the very precarious situation of the nation as a typical example, but we cannot overlook it. A lot of individuals are facing hard times right now. And I think one great way to be able to overcome hard time is to have a business that brings in money for you, so that on a daily basis, some income is coming in. Perhaps you are working as an employee, you can have an extra business by the side that can give you extra money. Or if you're not practically doing anything, you can start a business that earns money for you. So today on this live stream, I have with me Debbie. I call her Debbie. Her name is Deborah, but I call her Debbie. Debbie is here to share with us how you can start and launch your business in 90 days. How you can start and launch your business in 90 days. Debbie, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emeka. The
No,
Dawn. Thank you. It's good to,
great.
yeah.
So without wasting more time, guys, if you're coming in, please, I'm seeing some individuals have already joined us. Let's know in the comment section. Drop your comments. Let's know where you are tuning in from for this live stream, and also share the live stream so that other individuals can be part of our session today. Okay, there's a button beneath the screen, the share button. Just tap the share button and share the live stream wherever you're watching from, whether YouTube or whether on LinkedIn or right here on Facebook. Please do share so that other individuals can be part of what it is that we are having today as a conversation. How to start and launch your business in 90 days with Debbie. Okay, so let's know where you're tuning in from so that we can say hello to you, and then go invite your friends. Tag them as many as they are. Tag them to be part of what we are doing today. So I can see Rosemary Choma from Abuja, and I can see Salome all the way from Plateau State. All right, Debbie, go ahead, introduce yourself, and please
Also,
sit down and go ahead and teach us.
all right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay. I believe you can all hear me loud and clear. And like Mr. Emeka said, if you are coming in, you might need to drop a comment so that we can connect with you and be sure you can hear us at any point in time. All right. So my name is Deborah. I'm a mother of three amazing kids. Yes. So I always like starting up my introduction with that. And 7 years ago, I was in that place where I was earnestly looking for what to do to support my husband. I just got married. I grew up in Abuja. So marriage took me to Abuja. I'm a nurse, but I made a decision that I was not going to practice my career until my first child clocks 10 years. So the idea around it is that they said the first 7 years of a child's life is practically the formulation phase. Children don't do what you tell them to do, but rather they do what they see you do. They copy, more like copy and paste. They model everything you do. So I said, okay, so it would be nice for me to like sacrifice the first 7 years, 10 years of my marital life to be there for my children. Now, that decision made it to be that the only income that was coming into my household was my husband's salary. And if you're a civil servant here, you understand what that means. Like, it was never enough. Bills keep increasing. Of course, for young couple who just got married, everybody will be expecting kids, womb watchers and everything. And of course, the kids come, and there's this part of marriage that we didn't tend to, we don't always plan for, which is expenses, which is responsibilities. So these things started piling up, and the needs were increasing, the expenses were increasing here and then. And my husband's salary was not enough. 5 years into the marriage, it was looking as if that decision of not practicing until my first child clocks 10 years was the worst decision of my life. Why? Bills were increasing, things were increasing, and the whole weight was weighing on my husband. I can't count countless times I see my children going to school with the same old uniform, the same old lunch box, the same basic items that ordinarily every term, as a parent, you would have joy, derive joy buying these things for your children and have them resume school with new items, right? But in my case, it was a repetition of all those old ones. Yes, which wasn't so bad. But from where I'm coming from, my parents practically did the best with the resources available to them. So, this thing about childhood fantasies, we always tell ourselves, don't worry, when I grow up, I'm going to be better than my parents, right? So I had those fantasies, and I could say life happened. Then I was in that place where I was earnestly yearning for how to support my husband. I was yearning for what can I do to become that support system for my husband. And I was thinking of a business I could start. So most of the things I'll be sharing with you this afternoon are things that if I'm to go back to start those businesses all over again, I would want to implement it. So there are things gathered from the what we call failure. But of course, you get to understand from the course of this conversation that there is no failure except feedback. So I choose to call them the learning experiences, right? So the first business I ever did was selling footwears and bag online. So I have to think of that idea. There was a first need. Now, that need was I needed to support my husband. I needed to be that person who can provide for my children. I needed to, so let it not just be our salary. If I tell you how we plan our salary, my husband's salary, you find out that the only thing we had to manage every month was just 5 to 10,000 naira for a family of 4, right? Bills, 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 and there was no way to expand those means of income. And guess what? I came in contact with the about these people can earn income from. He has the active income quadrant and the passive income quadrant. He said active income is anything that requires your presence, and passive income. But he advised that you might need to start as the active income quadrant and then start moving your business to the point where there will be a system around your business, whether you're there or not. The business will continue. Comes with an idea. Go over to the comment section and type idea. It comes with an idea. There is a need. Now, this need is coming from a place of a personal need, a personal want. There is something, a dissatisfaction in your life that you might want to get rid of. That's the first thing that triggers the thought of starting a business, right? And then aside that need in your life, aside that pain in your life that you want to get rid of, the second thing is having a strong why. So aside the pain, aside the need, so in my case, it was a need of trying to support my husband. It was the instant need of trying to become that mother that can provide for my children. It was that instant need of trying to become that person that can make life easier for my husband, right? That was it. And then the second one is why. All right. So I said I'll be talking about 12 things to consider as you plan to start and launch your business in 90 days. So number one, there is an idea. And this idea is always from a place of need, from a place of want, from a place of desire. And then the second one is there is a strong why. There's a strong why. So this business you're thinking of starting, why are you going into the business in the first place? If there is no strong backing force, right? Of course, as in you might start that business. They say over 80% of businesses that start don't last beyond 5 years. So what's that thing that will constantly push you beyond your willpower? Willpower is enough for us to start, but you need a strong why. You need something that will practically keep you running, something that will keep you at your toes every single time. And the third aspect I'll be talking about is what solution, what service are you out to solve? Normally the traditional way of starting business is, we think of business, the next thing we're thinking of putting up a bacha, we're thinking of providing our services, and we don't sit down to go through the whole thinking process of what am I offering? If I am coming to sell this thing, for instance, right now, I want to start selling akara. Are there people in the street who are already in that business? Now, why will people leave those people and choose to buy from me? So there should be a place of what am I offering? What will make people to practically buy from me against every other person they have established a business relationship with? And then the fourth one is, who is the solution for? Who is the solution for? Who is this solution for? Most times we start up businesses and we think like, oh, it's for everybody, it's for women, everybody, both young or old or retired. Or it practically does not work that way in the real sense. You need to be able to craft out a unique audience, right? That when they come in contact with this your solution, when they come in contact with this your product, when they come in contact with this your services, they will practically feel like, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been yearning towards, right? That's to say that testing that your product or services automatically removes a pain in their life. And then the fifth one is, which area? Which area are you? So even if I say I have a product or a service right now that has to do with women, what segment, as in more like what they say, niching down, right? Create a niche for yourself, a part of the audience that you will serve. And you know that everything about your business is nurturing this audience, growing them, and making sure that you remove the pain in their life by providing your products or services. And then the sixth one is I've mentioned who as number 4, right? But I'm going to repeat it again. So the sixth part of it now, under the who, under the customer, under the people you are meant to serve, is have a unique customer segment. In every business, in every market, there are always 3 categories of the audience. We have the mass market, we have the medium class market, and then we have the premium customers. The time, the attention, the value that each of the segments of the audience is looking for, they are not the same thing. So you need to pay attention. This is my product, this is my service. Who exactly am I going to be serving? Is it for the mass market? Is it for the medium market? Is it for the premium? Because each particular part of the audience needs a different type of attention. Right? You cannot have a product that is meant for the mass market, and you will be overly like you need to study your market. You need to study the people that your solution is for and know how best to serve them, so that you who is rendering the service will also not break down. Right? So if you know your audience, if you understand your customer segment, it will practically help you to present your solution. Do you get that? Awesome. And then the 7th one is where. So where can I find these customers? Where can I get in touch with them? When I started my business earlier, I mentioned that the first business I ever did on social media was selling bags and footwear. So I have to reach out. I identify people who are suppliers in Malaysia, in UK. I was buying from them. When I buy from them, I will get the customized demo picture from the company. And when I get this, I will have to go and start looking out for who are the people that this product is meant for. It was footwears and handbags, women. So where can I get those women? I started joining Facebook groups, right? There were so many of them. I had customers from Kanu, Kasua, buying and selling, women advertise your business. I have to identify where those people are. The people who can afford to buy my products, the people who can afford to benefit from my value and services, where can I find them, right? And that can also be explained to be the channels you can choose to connect with this your audience. Now today, WhatsApp has grew to be one of the first platforms that you can practically use to grow your audience, nurture your audience, and constantly be in touch with them. WhatsApp statues, we have the Instagram, Facebook Live as we're doing right now, and so many other platforms. So where can I find those customers? Right? And then the 8th one is what. I mentioned what earlier, right? Fantastic. Now this time around, you've started this business. Remember, we're talking about starting and launching a business in 90 days, right? From the services you've rendered to those people, there are feedbacks. We want to make sales. Everybody wants to make sales, but we don't pay attention to that part of buying and selling. We don't pay attention to that part of rendering service where a customer comes to give you feedback. Remember, everybody who chooses to buy from you have another option. Everybody who chooses to buy from you have other people that they would comfortably do this business with. So when they choose to buy with you, I won't say is a privilege, is an honor. Yes, let me say it that way, right? So the question is, when these people's expectations are not met, how do you go about it? Do you just go blaming them, or do you be in that place of you're taking full responsibility to say that I am the one who is in charge of my solution, right? And or do you just, so are you at cause or are you at effect? Are you that person who accepts the feedback and then take it back and find how to rechannel this solution to meet the need of your customer? Or are you that person who say, I beg, I can't come and kill myself, right? And then the next one is when they have associated with you, when they have had this encounter from you, when they have experienced your service, your products, how do you want them to feel? So what's taste? So imagine you've been advertising, you've been promoting your product, and then finally somebody chooses to buy from you. Now, from the point the person sends in money to your account to the point where that product is being delivered, how do you reach out? How do you follow up? Let me use the word follow up. How do you follow up on them to be sure that what their expectations were met, right? I always choose to say it this way. What's the test? When someone has experienced your product and they have had a full journey with you, what's the test you leave them with? That test, is it good enough to the point where the person can recommend their contacts to you? Is it good enough to the point where they can refer their people within their community to you, right? And then the next one is the feedbacks, all those things, all those process you've gone through, having that time to sit down and go through the whole process and replan your launch. Most times when we start businesses, we start business with family and friends, averagely. So imagine when I started my bag and footwear business, my major customer was my immediate younger sister. She was working then, and she had needs for bag and footwears and everything. It's a good place to start, right? They always say you start from the known and you launch into the unknown. Starting from family and friends is always the best way to start. When I went into poultry business, also it was family, church members, people around. But for you to grow a business, for you to build a business beyond 5 years, it has to move from serving family and friends to locating a larger audience that are in need of that product and service. Not people that will just buy from you out of pity. Not people that will buy from you because they just want to patronize you. You're looking out for building something that can solve your own needs, something that you can also plan your life with, right? So if that is what you're intending to do, you have to go beyond just launching and having family and friends as your customers. And then the last part is get feedback and adapt. Get feedback and adapt. So let me quickly take it over again. So the first thing I mentioned is idea. If you got the 12 parts, type 12. I can't actually see the comments, but let me assume that you can see me and you're getting what I'm saying. Okay, so every business starts as an idea. Every business starts as a concern, a worry, something you witnessed that didn't go well with you, something that left you with deep thoughts. Two people can go through a particular situation, right? Oh, okay, I can see the comment right now. Thank you very much. 2-3 persons can go through a particular situation. But the way they choose to see it, the way they choose to learn from it, the way they have the experience is practically what makes the difference. So what is it about that thing that calls your attention? What is it about that thing that made you to feel that pain, right? So business idea is always from a place of, so sometimes from a place of pain. There's like the things start giving you some concern, right? And there are women, like in my own story, whether their husband's salary is enough or not. There are millions of them. But how is it an issue for me? How is it a thing for me? Because there's a standard of living I want to provide for my family. There is somewhere I want my children to be. And not being able to achieve that because of my husband's salary was a burden. So it became a pain in my life that I was doing everything possible to eradicate. So business can come from a place of pain. It can come from a place of worry. It can come from a place of concern. It can come from a place of a need, a desire to make something better. Maybe you experienced a service and you didn't like the way it go. And you want to really make it right? A desire to contribute, a deep concern to be part of a solution. What is it for you? So before you're thinking of starting a business, the question should be, what is it for you? What is that thing that calls your attention? Think through it and come up with a unique solution, right? And then the second part of it is still on the idea. Think your idea in form of solution, in form of value, in form of products, in form of services. You see, there's a challenge most times. We think of our business first. We assume that this is what our customers will be needing, and then we come and present to them what we've already cooked up in our mind. In the process of going through those ideas, in the process of that ideation phase, you need to also do some visibility study to find out exactly how your customers would want to receive the solution you have to offer to them, right? And then the second one is why. A successful business starts with a strong why. A reason for being, what makes you think, what makes you tick. The heart of every business is the ability to offer goods and services that fits with what the consumers want and need in an authentic and unique way. You get that? So you have to move from that point of having a strong why that will keep you going to the point of meeting with the need and the wants of your customers. Did you get that? Did you get that? So let's quickly go through number three. Number three is what? What is this business all about? What's the value I want to offer in the marketplace? What's the solution I want to provide? What do I want to package it in form of products or services? What pain do I want to eradicate in the life of my customer, the person who is coming to do business with me? By the time they have witnessed my business, by the time they have come in contact with my business, what pain do I want them to get rid of, right? Or what pleasure, right? Before money leaves somebody's pocket, is always for two things. People buy into products or services because of a pain they want to get rid of or because of a pleasure they want to acquire. So what is it for you? So you need to think that your idea beyond just products and services to the point of what solution. See your idea as a light. When someone has witnessed this my idea, when someone has witnessed this my opportunity, when someone has witnessed this my services, how is this light going to solve the darkness that they are currently witnessing? Okay, now why would someone choose to buy from me? Why? I missed all the noise, I missed everybody. Why would they choose to buy from me? So what's making you stand out among every other person? Know your crafts and then hone your craft. So it's not just about having an idea. You need to move from the point of having an idea to knowing who your idea is meant for, to knowing why this idea will sell in the first place, and then what will make those people to buy from me. And then the fourth one is who. Who is this value for? Who is this product for? Who is this service for? You need to know and be very clear on who your customer is. Understand the need they have. And ask yourself, how do I intend to solve this need with this product? How will this product become the solution to this their headache? What keeps them up at night? What pain would they trade everything in their life to be able to end? What value would make sense to them at the moment? So it's not just about having a beautiful product. It's not just about having a beautiful service. It's not just about having a beautiful idea. What is it about this product, this service, this idea that will make them suspend every other things, every other need in their life that requires money, and they would choose to prioritize your product and service over every other thing they have? Think about it. Most especially in this time when there's so many need for money, right? There's so many needs for survive. As in, the need for survival is practically increasing because of the state of the economy right now. So if I am going to be receiving money from someone, what is it about this my product that will make them prioritize buying it over every other problem they have? What pain would they, as in, what pain do they have in their life right now that this solution or service can solve? What value do I have that I will provide at this moment that will make sense to them? Remember, your business solution or value will be created with the customer in mind. I mentioned this earlier. So the challenge most times is that we create our services, we create our products with our own, from where we are coming from, right? We have this thing, we have a need. The need could be the need to make money, create an extra source of income. You need to pause and also pay attention to the person who is going to come in contact with my product, the person who is going to come in contact with my services. What need is this going to solve in their life, right? And then your business solution of value will be created with the customer in mind and not based on what you think they need. Do you understand that? So not from your place of from your perception, it has to be customer minded. And then what pleasure would they get when they eventually do business with me? Are you following? If you're following, type number 5. So we're at number 5 right now. So the fifth one says, which area? Which area? What is it about your business? What's your unique selling point? What's your unique your value proposition? What is it about your product, your service, your idea that will make people to be attracted to you? I need you to understand this analogy. Every business solution you provide, it will appear to appeal attention. So imagine putting up a candle right now in a place where there is so many bulbs, like over 500 bulbs. Everywhere is shining bright, and then you bring out your service, your business is like a candle light. It's blazing, it's burning in full capacity, right? But will it make any sense at that moment? Will it solve any need at that moment? When there is bulb, like is daytime, there is over 500 bulb, everywhere is lighted up. Do you think that candle is going to serve any need at that moment? Yes or no? I want to see the comments to be sure that we are following. Do you think that candle is going to solve any need at that moment? Of course, no. But imagine there's a total darkness, and then NEPA suddenly took their light, and that your candle is burning. What do you think will happen? The impact of the candle will be felt. Like people will be attracted to that source. It's 12 a.m., no NEPA light. All of a sudden, your candles just start burning, and what will happen is attention will go towards that light. So every business idea is like a solution to someone's darkness. Did you get that? Every business idea you're nurturing, any business you want to start right now, is like a solution to someone's darkness. It's like a solution to someone's pain. It's like something that has come to solve someone's problem. So the question is, find this darkness. Find what this pain is. Sometimes identifying this pain is as simple as asking yourself the pain you have gone through. Every pain you've gone through in your life, someone is currently going through that pain, right? Now, the ability to go through that pain and be able to come out of it strong shows that there is millions of people you can practically lead out of that pain. So when thinking of starting up a business, there should be a uniqueness in it. There should be a, how will I put it right now, a brand story. I'm coming to that, right? So the question is, find that pain that you're called to solve. Find that thing, that darkness, that solution you have will practically be the all and all for it. And then hone your crafts, research on this solution, locate your audience, find where they are. I shared already when I was selling bags and footwear. I have to go and start looking out for where will I get women who can afford to buy this product. I wasn't using a physical office, right? I was doing everything online. So I have to start looking at where, if I am to start and finish my business transaction on my timeline, trust me, I might not get so many buyers. So I have to create a page. I have to start posting. I have to start, as in, getting the best quality picture of my products. Not the ones I took from camera. Like I might see a very good quality bag, but I will have to make sure that I get that bag, I get the demo picture of it from the company, right? So it's also a good thing to know the solution you want to offer. Another part of it is also, how do you present this solution? Do you present it as something that is enticing, or do you just anyhow, after all, I've done my maths, the people I'm called to serve will know me, they will get attracted to me? No, it doesn't work like that, right? Over 80% of the audience are highly visual. If you can hear me, type visual. They are visual. They feed through their eyes, right? They will want to see what they will be investing their money into first before they will want to leave that, as in before they will want to, that money will exchange hand. So find where they are, understand them, understand their language, connect with them, and be solution minded. Then number 6, who? Decide on your customer segments. Which category of this of this audience would I prefer to serve? I said every solution has 3 types of audience that it can serve. It could be mass market, it could be medium market, it could be premium market. Don't get me wrong, one product can also fit into those 3 categories. But if you want to serve these 3 categories at the same time, the way you present it, the way you communicate won't be the same thing. Trust me. You can't be selling something that is for premium customers and you just advertise it. The price is not there. There is no well-written descriptions on what they stand to gain and everything. It might not work, right? For mass market, it might work like that. They will come in boss asking you how much and so many other things, and then have all those time to say, okay, what's the last price and so many things. So you need to first of all determine which audience am I going to be serving, right? We always say that the best place to start, I don't know if it's the best place, but the best place that will give you lots of experiences to tweak your product and service is practically the medium market. You can start from the mass market, and then from there, you enhance your products to a higher part of the audience, right? Which is the medium market. Now, the medium market will practically give you the experience on how to serve and nurture your premium customers. Did you get that? A premium customer might not have so much to say, but they need your attention, they need your time. They need you to constantly be there to give them that audience at any point in time. So knowing the segment of the audience you are meant to serve will practically save you a whole lot of stress, right? It will save you a whole lot. Like you have a 1K. I don't know how to describe this because I'm not in the I'm trying to get the best description right now. So in my line of business, there's a lower package, there's a medium package, and then there's a higher package. People who come in with the lower package always give headache. Like they have so many inquiry, they want your attention, they want so many things. If you don't tend to understand your audience, you find out that you might be dissipating your energy in the wrong direction. You're working so hard, you're doing so well, but at the end of the day, income parts, you're not seeing anything, right? But it's a good place to start. Starting from there, we give you an idea of what the expectations of the medium market would be, right? That would now be the higher package. And then from there, handling their headache, handling all their concerns will now prepare you to the higher market, which is the premium customers. I hope I've been able to explain this to some extent, right? So understand your audience, understand their need. Ask yourself, if I have the capacity to serve them, if I have the capacity to serve them. Most times we think of business, product, service, and then we're thinking advertising, attracting people. When those people have finally come to you, do I have the capacity to serve them? Do I have the capacity to nurture them? Do I have the capacity to help them get that value they are looking for? Do I have the capacity to help them take away that pain in their life? So my little observation in this aspect, running a business is not just about buying and selling. Oh, look, it's not. It goes beyond that. It's about connecting with people. It's about meeting their need. Ask yourself, am I ready to serve this audience? Do I have what it takes? Count your cost. Have a budget. Make a proper planning on what you're willing to do to be able to get the right people. All right. Now, what does it really cost to deliver the solution? How much are you willing to invest? And what exactly is my target? How bad do I want this? How far do I intend to take this my business? So another place that is very vital, that is not part of the 12 things I mentioned, is costing. So building businesses requires a whole lot of energy, a whole lot of time, a whole lot of attention from you. It's more like betting a baby, a neonat. Can you just have your baby and then in the first 7 days you intend to this is your food there, your Aptamil is there, your this is that. When you wake up, wear your pampers, go and do this and do that. No. You give your baby attention, right? You have to be there. You have to nurture the baby. The first 7 days, you have to make sure they get the immunity they require. You have to make sure so starting and launching a business requires the same set of attention it takes to birth a new child. So do you have that time? Do you have that attention to put into the business? Are you ready to go all in into that business? All right. Then the 7th one is where can I get those people that my solution is meant for? What channel, what platform is more suitable? What's my best, the targeted audience I'm looking for? Where can I get them? Is it online? Is it offline? Do I need to have a physical presence to be able to start? Can I operate from home? Can I use my WhatsApp status? Can I use Facebook? Can I use Instagram? Now, even if I want to do organic for a start, where can I go and locate those people? where, which group, and get those people I'm looking out for, that my product, that my service is meant for, right? So figure out what it is for yourself and ask yourself once again, what is your solution? The value you provide has to be clear. There shouldn't be any ambiguity. When people come in contact with your products or services and they have finally tested the solution you have, what do you want them to feel? You know the way we eat, and your taste bud can actually tell you when you have a good meal or a bad meal. See your products and services like when these people have come in contact with this, when these people have come in contact with the solution I have to offer, when these people have come in contact with what I have, how is the test going to look like, right? Now, the way they feel at the end of coming in contact with me, will it be good enough for them to recommend people within their contacts? Think about it. And then the eighth one is honing your words. So from the feedbacks, from the experiences you get from those people, it will help you look at your solution again. It will help you know when to enhance your solution, right? Don't get carried away with noise when you finally start. It takes discipline to be focused on your set goal. It takes discipline to focus on the particular audience you're to serve, right? And also, it takes discipline to also take their feedback and adjust. All right. Then the ninth one is when people have finally contacted you, when they have finally done business with you, how do you want them to feel? What emotions do you want to evoke in them? With the way they feel about your services, I've mentioned that earlier, with the way they feel about your services, can they easily recommend you? Can they be rest assured that they can tell someone about your services and the person will come and the person will be treated well? Someone makes payments to you, you're not acknowledging the payments. You feel like it's your right. There are several other places they can actually go and make that payment. There are several persons who offer the same service you're offering. So whether it's mass market, whether it's medium, I know of a particular business brand that anything you buy from them, whether it's 1 naira or 2 naira, they will practically send you a confirmation message on WhatsApp. They will send you a confirmation message on text message. And like, you don't just receive money and you feel like, oh yeah, so the stress I put in trying to advertise those products, finally somebody has paid, and then you're relaxing. The challenge is that most times we focus on our energy on attracting customers, and when they come in, it looks like, now this person is here, let me go to the next. No, there are two approaches to treat your customers. There are two ways to run your business. You can approach your business as a hunter, or you can approach your business as a farmer. So who is a hunter? Someone who wakes up every day, picks up their gun, loads up their gun, and then they are going for the chase. And then who is a farmer? Someone who has the patience to understand the season, know the right seeds to plant in this season, know the right message to go out with, know the right solution to offer. And then they know that, oh, this seed is going to take a period of 3 months. They nurture the seed, they prepare the ground, they know when it's time for weeding, they know when it's time for preparation of the ground, they know exactly everything they need to do to be able to get this right. And they are patient enough to go through the season. They are patient enough to get their harvest. And then at the end of the day, growing up, I always see our grandmother, when she harvests her corn, she will separate the best one and then hang it up there. A farmer has the patience to select the best of the seed and then separate it for the next season. So that the next season, you won't have to start running, is it hectare scatter or what? Trying to prepare all over again. So how do you approach your business? How do you approach your business, right? Before someone leaves your ecosystem, before someone leaves your business, what's the exit like? What's the exit like? If the services you've rendered to them is appealing, they will always want to come back. Trust me. Of course, someone like Emeka Nobis, anytime he's constantly selling something, you just feel the nudge to buy, as in the urge to buy from him. Whether you need that service at that point in time, or somehow you just be like, I beg, let me just be adding to my capacity. Why? Because each time you buy from them, the way they make you feel, the value you get is always like, this thing is underpriced. Like, I got so much that I paid for. So in thinking of launching and starting a business, starting and launching a business in 90 days, also think of what emotions do I want to evoke in this my customers when they are finally bought from me. All right. And then you can now start thinking of building an entire ecosystem that nurtures and breed people for more value. All right. Have those been impactful so far? Drop your comments. Let me see and get your feedback. And then number 10, how? So now you've taken care of your idea, the solution, how you want to present it, who your customers are. You've learned how to communicate to them. You learned how the solution you have to offer can actually solve a problem in their life. It's time for you to start. Get in the face of people. Promote, share, educate, help people to understand what value you offer. There's a place for value in everything. Business is not just about making profits. There's a place for perceived value. When you're communicating your value, there's something you're saying and there's something your customer is hearing. So at this point of communication, you will have to make sure that what I am saying is practically matching up with what my customer is hearing, right? So you don't fall into the trap of over communicating and then how did I used to put it? You over promise and under deliver, right? So there should be a balance between the value you have, the perceived value, and then this value that I think I'm giving out. When those customers eventually come in contact with those value, how they see my services, how they perceive those value and services, right? So you see that is a whole lot of work. And the work here is around feedback. When I started earlier, I said what people would term as failure experiences is practically learning experience. So in the journey of starting, launching, and building a business, are you open to feedback? Well, they say, okay, let's get feedback. But at the same time, there's always this thing about us that makes us feel like, this thing is, as in, the person didn't even present it well. The person, nobody owes you packaging or presenting the feedback well. Trust me. You are the one who needs to train yourself. You're the one who needs to prepare yourself, receive this feedback, and then go through the whole process of asking yourself, this feedback I am getting, picking it to the point where you can practically, okay, so there's this thing about, they say when you're going to listing, go with baskets. In Igbo language, they call it inyo, right? You're carrying those baskets and you're receiving whatever they are saying. It takes mental toughness for you to practically go through feedback and still take the meat out of it. Trust me, building business is a whole lot. And one thing that can help you stay on track, one thing that can help you service your customer, one thing that can help you nurture and build a whole community out of a business and a solution is practically feedback. Like, don't joke with it. Somebody buys something from you, the person sends in money. The person buys from you because they have seen your consistency, they have seen how often you come online to make posts. And in the moment the person sends in money to you, nothing. Communication ceases. That's hunter's attitude. You need to run your business with a growth mindset. Don't run your business as someone who is just after the money. We know that at the end of everything, whether you're passionate about your business or not, it's the money. Oh, we understand that. But don't make it look like it's the money. Be solution driven. Go and type it in the comment section. Be solution driven. That thing you're selling, there are millions of people selling it. That product you're offering, there are millions of people offering it. That service you're rendering, there are millions of people who are rendering the same service. Why will that person choose to ignore all of them and choose to buy from you? Whatever you're selling, there are several people who are selling the same thing, and then someone chooses to buy from you. It's a choice they have made. So make them feel comfortable buying from you. Make them feel like they make the right choice. Whatever it will take you, set your reminder when you have to deliver. Not the time to deliver. Trust me, it is not a place of don't prepare so well for a business and then you show up so sharply. No, it doesn't go well. The person might not come back again the next day, right? So aside the value you think you are giving out, also pay attention to the expectation of the customer, the value they are expecting from you, right? And I'm going to be talking about communication soon. When you communicate, communicate the exact value. Let it be that your communication was so, they were expecting something little and they now got something big. Think about it. You got information about something and then you bought it. At the end of the day, you were like, oh, wow. Then you were expecting so much. And when you eventually buy from the person, you were like, this didn't meet my expectation. Which one do you think will encourage that person to keep coming back to buy from you? The wow experience or the which one do you think will encourage the person? So the question should be, how will I package my service, my solution, my product to the point when a customer comes in contact with me, they are feeling like, oh, wow, this was, as in, I got value for my money, right? So when you had that experience, trust me, you will never run out of customers. You start building audience. So one thing I always teach people in aspect of starting and launching businesses is building your audience. Trust me, build your active candidate list. Your products and services is not for everybody. Identify the people is for, build it, nurture it. Data is king, guys. Get feedback from them. Feedback is king. The essence of collecting this data is so that you can always reach out to them and see how they feel after they have encountered you. I was having a strategy session with someone, and then I gave an idea with the person. The person runs a supermarket, and I'm like, imagine doing a seasonal thing where you drop a questionnaire, and every customer who comes in with you, who is going to write in their contacts, like more like a sampling, a questionnaire to sample their opinion about a particular product, and then they leave their number, and you reach out to them to follow up to say, oh, okay, how was your experience with this product? And with that data you have already, you can always communicate when there is something new. You can communicate when you have sales. You can communicate when there's a discount. You can communicate when there's a voucher. You can even give them discounts. See, if you have somewhere that you buy from and they call you or they send you a message once in a while, monetarily to check up on you, and there are 5 other places you have the same option of buying those things from, then this time around there is a need to buy that thing. Where will you choose to buy from? Pay attention. It is the feeling, it's the emotion that makes your customers to keep coming back. You plait hair. I carry natural hair. I can count of 5 to 10 different places I've ever made my hair. Since the past 4 years, I started carrying natural hair. But there is always a place that tops in my list when I want to make a hair. The way they lose the hair, the way they, even when you say, oh, it's painful, the way they attend to you. But there are some people, the way they be like, I beg, madam, keep your head very well. In your head, you're even saying, don't worry, you won't see my leg again in this your shop. So your customers are human beings. They have feelings, they have emotions, right? So how you attend to them will practically result to whether they are going to come back again, whether they are going to keep coming back, whether they're going to recommend someone to that your products or services. I hope you're getting value for your time. And then finally, the essence of getting this feedback is for you to relaunch your business. So start, launch, take feedback, adapt, sell. Trust me. Every feedback you take, every feedback you're getting is practically somebody calling your attention to say, come and take more money. Trust me. The reason why the feedback was painful is because there is money in that. Right? So your ability to take that feedback, nurture it, and come up with something will practically add more value to your business. So start, launch, be open for feedback, adapt, and then go back and cash out with that feedback, right? So the next part I always talk about is finding your brand story. Every business has a story. Something cost you the dissatisfaction. Something cost you that thing. The dissatisfaction you felt was actually what led you towards creating a product, creating a course, creating a service, creating whatever it is, right? Something caused that pain. Something got you into nursing the idea of that business. You got that service. You were not satisfied and you wanted to do it better. Find it. Tell the story to yourself. Hone it. You see, building with stories is so effective. You know why? Connections is built, rapport is established, trust is built. Your customers should always be, see, when the best way to connect to your customers is through stories. What is your brand story? That business you're thinking of launching in the next 90 days, that business you're thinking of starting, what is the story behind it? The way you communicate the stories will even pave way for you even before the product is launched. People who do pre-launch, what do you think people buy into? Is their story. People who build waiting lists, what do you think people buy into? Is the story. They are waiting, they are so eager, they are anticipating. So the traditional way of doing business is you finish packaging the product and then you will now come and be saying, come and buy. Carry people along in the process of preparing for that campaign, in the process of preparing for that launch. And let them anticipate, right? Let them buy into your brand story, okay? Let them establish emotional connections. They said, facts tell, stories sell. If you can hear me, type it on the comment section. Facts tell, stories sell. People will easily keep buying from you when they make emotional connections with you. Trust me. Emotions is everything. People buy out of emotions and they back it up with logic. So the best way to evoke emotions is practically through utilizing the act of storytelling. So find your story, find your brand story and communicate it. Tell it shamelessly. The way Mr. Mekanobis will always carry his market in the head. Like, I was wondering how he had the challenge yesterday and he was still communicating. He was very active. Carry your market shamelessly, shameless marketing, right? So convenience, again, how easy can they access you and the solution you provide? Think about it. So when you're thinking of the channel of your communication, don't think based on which one is convenient for you. No, think based on the convenience of the person who is buying from you. All right? And then communication. What is your brand language? Someone should see you somewhere and say, okay, this is like, even from replying a message to how you make calls. In my line of business, we go as far as crafting scripts, how you pick a call, how you respond to a call, how you do. It is so important. And communication is not just about what you think you're saying. No, communication is two ways. What you think you have said and what the customers picks up from what you have said. So when you're getting a different feedback, that means you have to go back to your communication. What is it about this product? How am I communicating this product that is making those people get it from a different perspective, right? If what you're communicating is different from what you're getting back from your customers, you have to go back to the drawing board and find most effective way to communicate to your customers, right? They said the meaning of a communication is in the reaction you get. The meaning of the communication is, so you have not communicated until someone you're talking to actually picks up the information and interprets it exactly the way you want them to interpret. So when you're saying A and someone is hearing B, you have to go back to your communication and ask yourself, get back to the drawing board. How do I communicate better? And how do I get them to get the message I'm trying to pass, right? Then the next one is what? The know, like, and trust factor, KLT. People will buy into you when they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And what will help you to build this know, like, and trust factor? You have to consistency, being in people's faces, positioning yourself, be known for something, be seen for something. Like when someone is thinking of where can I get human hair, what names comes to their mind? Position yourself to the point where someone is thinking of that solution you're offering, your name becomes the first thing that comes in their mind. All right. Then last but not the least is build. Build. The effective way to build, I'll keep saying is feedback. What people call failure, what makes so many businesses not to last beyond 5 years is practically feedback. Right? The way they take feedback, as in assuming that everybody who is giving you a feedback is attacking you like they are village people. They were projected against your business. You need to learn that there is no failure experience. Every experience is a learning experience. Trust me. Be in control, right? And then sometimes you have to also, I think, accepting and taking feedback is about how your capacity, your emotional capacity, your mental toughness, right? When you're going, they say business is war. Running business and sustaining business is not just about buying and selling. You need to think beyond that. You need to think beyond that, and then start seeing yourself as somebody who has come to build something that will last, right? So support system is also key. Support system is also key. Depending on the value you are offering, key partners, right? So bottom line of everything is think through your idea, plan through your idea, get into action, launch, get feedback, and then review. So I can sum it up to say plan, do, review. So finally, what makes business tick is cultivating healthy relationships. Trust me. Remember the last thing you bought. If you had an option of going to buy it again, and you have 10 different places you can choose to buy it from, where will you buy? Where will you buy? Will you buy from the person that you purchased from the last time who didn't make you feel good for spending your money? Or would you buy from the person who, after collecting your money, they made you feel so good for collecting your money? Think about it. And when you present your product, when you present your services, when you present your solution, know that the person who is doing business with you have other options, right? Cultivate healthy relationship. We tend to always be in the pursuit of reaching out, like you're always hunting, looking for customers. Trust me, if everybody who has ever bought from you before now were satisfied, and they trusted you, they trusted your service to the point where they are able to recommend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 persons to you, do you think you'll still be looking for customers? Do you think you'll still be looking for customers? In fact, you'll be running away from customers because you will have so much to attend to. So as you're thinking of starting and launching your business in 90 days, think about when people have finally come in contact with my solution, when people have finally come in contact with the solution I have to their pain, how will they feel, right? So everybody who comes in contact with your brand should have this emotional connection to say, like, as in they should have those satisfaction, right? And on your own, you should be able to assess yourself and evolve, improve on the way you interact with people. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for Mr. Emeka. I don't know if we'll have time for question and answer. I saw some questions there, and I
Yeah. I'm trying to see if there are questions at the back. So guys, if you have a question, please drop the question so that she can answer. I'm not really seeing. Somebody's asking, how will I keep getting the wow? I don't know if that's a
okay.
question or not.
Yes, that's the question. Based on the perception, how I shared the experience your customer should have at the end of coming in contact with you. So it practically comes from feedback. All right. Think of all the customers, Kehinde Samuel. Think of all the customers who have bought from you before. What was the last taste? Like, how did you leave them? Right? So let me give an instance. I can actually share this thing openly because I have to call that person, and well, I've helped that person to figure out the solution. So I got this graphics designer who was working with me. Like, I'm highly visual, 80% visual. So when I think of something, I can come up with different flyers to communicate it, right? Like, I have need for over 10 flyers in a day. And I started working with this guy. I'm expanding my business into Port Harcourt. When I started that Port Harcourt expansion, we were doing like flyers back to back, both online, offline, and so many things for my community. Then there was this particular day, a colleague needed a flyer, and I forwarded it to this guy. He told me, I know his terms and conditions already. 72 hours, I have to 48 hours, and then I have to pay. And I meet all these parts. The time he gave to me, the first time he gave to me, I started checking up how far. He said, okay, I'm on it, give me some time. I checked back again. The guy started telling me, I'm on it, give me some time. And I'm like, I was even curious to say, like, because most times he has worked with me, and sometimes I know that, okay, there might be need for, there's no light, and sometimes he might say he's looking for where to buy fuel and all those things. I was just waiting for him to communicate and tell me what the challenge is. All of a sudden, this guy just said, I can't meet up. Drop your account number, let me do a refund. And I'm like, where is this coming from? I felt so bad. And I'm like, it's not about the refund, okay? As in, you can just do well with whatever you want to do with the money. And I angrily went and I had Canva all along in my phone. I just went and taxed my head to say I have to deliver this thing by myself through Canva. And guess what? Since that time, that last transaction was practically around ending of May. It has been 3 months. I've done over how many flyers? And trust me, all those flyers, I did it by myself. I just told myself, most of these flyers, I can practically get it done. Most especially the ones that has to be in-house, right? Now, this is me describing a particular person in mind. There are so many persons who has done business with you that it didn't go well. They actually paid you, right? Maybe what they were expecting, the expectations were not met, and they tried communicating with you. You were already on the edge, and they don't want to, they can trade anything for their peace of mind. They just jelly walked out of your business. So ask yourself, if you really have data of people who have bought from you, ask yourself, when was the last time this person purchased something from me? How come this customer was always there and all of a sudden I stopped getting their order? Go and check. And one skill that can help you effectively stay on top of your game is follow up. How do you follow up with your customers? How do you nurture them? Right? When someone buys from you, so the wow effect is coming from a place of improving over time based on the feedbacks you've received from your customers. I can openly share about this graphic designer because I was just having a business conversation with another young guy, and in the process, I just thought of him, and I have to call him back to say, remember this? I just said, let me call him. I called him because when I walk into somebody's life, for instance, whether it's someone I'm buying from or someone I'm rendering service from, I always want to add value. So I just called him randomly to check up on him because in as much as I've saved myself a lot of money, I was also feeling like, this guy actually lose the customer. And then I called him. He was now telling me, he said, he was going through a whole lot of emotional challenge at that moment. And it actually told on how he was reacting to his customers, right? I was glad that he saw the area he didn't do well on. I was glad he was ready to even listen. And guess what? There are so many people. It's not everybody that will pick up the phone and say, okay, let me check up on you. It's not everybody. Like, it's when you have plenty time that you can be thinking of somebody who used to eat your money and all of a sudden they became rude. And you're trying to check up on them. No, it doesn't work. Like, it's not everybody that will have that patience to want to go back. To me, I see business beyond just doing business. I see business as a relationship, right? That you wouldn't know when you'll be needing it for life. So when someone walks out of your business premises, do you shut the door? Do you build fences or do you build bridges? I hope this illustration has been able to help so far. I hope it has helped you. I hope it has helped. Please, what can you say about people who come in contact with your brand's solution and they check elsewhere to see that your price was more expensive? Juliet Okechukwu, I don't think price is a factor, no doubt about it. But if you do your mathematics around knowing your customer segment, it will save you a whole lot of headache, right? There are some people who will want a premium value at mass market costs. When you do that assignment, it will save you that stress. When you're providing, see now in car, there is broke mobile and there are the expensive ones, right? When you save up your money and you're going to buy, can you go to a Mercedes stand and then you're telling them, I saw exactly the car that looks like this one at that Toyota stand and it's way cheaper than what you guys are selling. You can't make such comparison. Why? Because you know the value you're looking out for in the first place. So I think this is coming from a place of knowing your value proposition, honing it, communicating it, and getting the right audience. So I recently got in contact with someone who was rendering a service. I was looking out for an alternative power supply. And then this guy, more like solar solution. So this guy posted something. He didn't add the price. By the time I got invoice, I got invoice, it was a whole lot of stress trying to get feedback from him. So I dropped my contact. I asked him to reach out to me on WhatsApp, and then I called him. By the time I finished with my inquiries and everything, His communications were vague, his communications were empty, right? I had a need, and there were some aspect of the communication that would have helped me, save me that time of going in boss, asking about the product, right? If he communicated well, it would have been so. At the end of the day, it ended up becoming a business conversation to say, like, this is how I felt when I came in contact with you. This is how I felt coming in, reaching out to you in boss. I felt like it was stressful. On a very good day, I wouldn't have this time, right? But I am actually engaging you at this point because I have the time. So the question now is this: how many customers have you lost because you didn't do your assignment, because you didn't know the segment of audience you want to serve? You can't have a product that is for premium customers and you're communicating in a cheap language. No. A premium client will not even bother their head about, are there places where they sell cheaper? No, they don't have that time. So know your solution, hone it, be the master of your game, right? And then find the right audience, very important, and communicate in their language as clear as possible without ambiguity. When you go to Jevinic, you know how much they sell their food with protein and everything. An average meal with drink, you're going to practically part with 10,000 naira. And then Mama Put sells the same food for 500 naira. So will you be comparing, say, Jevinic, you put food is costly, oh. Like that Mama Put used to sell this plate of food for 500 naira or 700 naira. Juliet Okechukwu, I hope this has been able to help you, right? Know your audience, craft your solution, and locate your audience. Communicate with clarity to the point where they can see the value you have to offer. They will just make the purchase without so much noise and so much comparison. Okay? The good place to start, mass market can be a good place to start. With their headache, it can prepare you for the medium markets. And then from the medium markets pay lesser than the premium and they want your attention. That's when you can now upscale and have the premium aspect of it, where they buy from you, you give them attention, and you're there to practically walk them through the experience. But at the same time, whether mass market or medium or premium, feedback is king. Feedback is king. Feedback is king. And finally, don't joke with developing yourself. Don't joke with building capacity. Don't joke with learning skills. Don't joke. You might have the best product. You might have the best services. Your communication might be so poor. The way you present it might be so poor. So where do you learn those skills from? Mentorship. Don't feel like everybody who is saying mentorship wants to collect your money. No. Know where you are at the moment. Know what you need to be able to unlock the next level and pay premium. Like place premium value on your brand. Okay. Somebody is saying, thanks so much. What is a KLT factor? What's it all about? Okay. Charles Noble, are there people you've ever bought from before on social media? Yes or no? Let's make it interactive. Have you bought from anybody before? Yes or no? Why did you buy from that person? You actually made that purchase because you've been seeing that person, the person has been consistent, and then to some level you built this will I say knowability or what? Like you come to a point where you're able to convince yourself that I know this person so well, they can't run away with my money, right? I know them and they can't run away with my money. The person has been consistent to the point where you feel like, I've consumed a lot from this person and I think I've come to like this person. And guess what? They can now trust you with their money. So it's no like or trust. No like and trust. They know you, they like you, they trust you well enough to the point where they can send their money to you and be at peace that you not wake up tomorrow and you will not deliver the value they paid for, right? So in everything you do, you have to build your KLT factor. And the best way to build that is by being consistent, be in people's faces, position yourself, be known for something, be seen, spend so much time in educating people, spend so much time in educating people on the value you have to offer. Charles Noble, have that been able to help you? I hope I've been able to help you, Charles. Any question or feedback, guys? Any question? At what point should you stop following up a customer so you won't look like a pest? Chinedu Izundu at, So in my line of business, we always say, Only two things will happen in life that will make you to stop following up on someone, except the person dies or you die. Are you planning to die soon? If you're not planning to die soon, follow up. Now, this time around, follow up. There's a way you follow up, it looks as if you're pestering the person, right? Now, the best way to effectively follow up is by establishing a rapport, right? Let it not just be an average. So someone was supposed to buy something from you, and all of a sudden the person stopped communicating. They didn't send in money. You sent in account number and they didn't buy again. A random checkup to say, I was going through my, I just thought of you. I was going through our conversation and I realized that you didn't end up buying. I hope you're good. You see how I am moved from just asking about, are you not buying again, to saying, I hope you're good. How are you faring? I hope everything is okay. What do you think? You are moving from a place of being a salesperson to being that person who is making emotional connection with your customer. Make the person feel at home, like, talk to me, what's it? I hope all is well. The person says, okay, so thing happened though, and this happened, and this happened. Oh, I understand. Like the way our economy is going right now, as in, you have to plan. No, you need to really plan before you can buy anything. Trust me, I truly understand, right? Now, what are you doing? You're moving away from being a salesperson to becoming someone who is interested in building a nurturing relationship, right? So think about everybody who makes inquiry from buying and they wanted to buy from you. Think about the conversations. Think about the ones who abandoned the cart. Think about what line of communication you can actually open up that will show that you're interested in their well-being and not just in them getting your products. Do you understand that? So there are some people who have followed me for the past 7 years, and maybe after 5 years, they eventually buyed into my business. They eventually signed up into my community. So showing up also is follow up. Keep the conversation going. The person with the highest conversation wins at every point in time. So it's a numbers game. Sales is a numbers game. You need to have as many conversations going on and know when it's time to strike, right? Strike when the iron is hot. And that is why you need to also hone your skills. You need to hone your sales skill. You need to hone your closing skills, right? Because someone might be shouting, collect my money, and you're busy talking about features and functions of your product and you did not collect the money. Then something else will now come and collect the money. You're now saying, at what point will I follow up to this person to know that I'm pestering them? So there's a place of building capacity. There's also a place of nurturing a customer. There are so many people. I think one of the persons I bought easily with is Emeka Nobis. I've been following him since even before 2016 because of his constant communication and everything, right? So it also tells in the communication style, the way you communicate. Know this, every business has a particular audience that you're meant to serve. No doubt about it. Do your homework, know your audience. When you communicate in their language. What pain are they going through that they will give everything in this world to get rid of? Keep at it and then keep improving. So the feedbacks, the experiences and everything. So when you're checking up with people who did not buy from you, those communications you're having is practically what keeps you at your toes. So you keep evolving, you keep adapting, and you keep growing. Does that help, Chinedu? So follow-up is a lifelong thing. Trust me. Follow-up, and as a business brand, you keep growing, you keep evolving. No, I'm not planning to die soon. So since you're not planning to die soon, now keep those communication going, keep those conversations going, and go collect your money when the time is right.
Okay, so I think there are no other questions now. Thank you so much, Debbie, for the conversation. I don't know if there's no other question. Yeah. So thank you, Debbie. So are there final words for us before we call the conversation a close?
Awesome. So in conclusion, everything about starting, launching your business is about knowing the pain you're there to solve in the life of the person who will eventually come in contact with your product or service. Knowing how to communicate your value. have someone in mind. All right, the people who this product or service is meant for, what pain are they going through, what are they suffering right now, that they can give everything in this world, they can prioritize their expenses, and buying my products, buying my solution becomes a top list, right? And how do I communicate? And I mentioned that communication is two ways. What you're saying versus what the person is hearing, they should be in alignment, right? And then when this person has eventually tested your products, be ready. Be ready, have that mental toughness to take the feedback. The feedback is what helps you to adapt. It's what helps you to grow. People, there is no failure experience except there is no failure experience. Every experience is a learning experience. So be open for feedback, be open for learning, adapt, adapt, adapt. And then finally, plan, start, do, get feedback, adapt, and go back again and redo. Understand that you might start your business from people you know, but the large market is actually on people you don't know. So the challenge most times is that we start and we remain at that place. We want to keep servicing the same customers. Service them, treat them so well to the point where they can recommend you, and then keep growing. And at the end of everything, build a whole brand around your business, build a community, nurture them, and find your brand story, right? Fact tells, stories sell. Fact tells, stories sell. So ensure that you invest more on your capacity building, on your personal development, and become that person who is willing to grow, right? Become that person who is willing to survive the starting phase of your business. They say a lot of businesses crash before 5 years. Become that person who is making a decision to say, I won't just start, I will grow, I will evolve, I will adapt, and I will keep growing. Okay? So sign up for classes. If there is a platform for you to learn from, please go and learn. If there is something, if there is a skill you need to be able to become effective in selling, effective in closing, learn those skills and grow at it. Okay. I talked to Mr. Emeka.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. So is it safe to talk about the 36 days challenge?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. By all means.
Okay. All right. So I've been able to put up a 30. My birthday is actually on Saturday, right? And I've been able to put up a challenge where I can help business owners to practically understand most of these things. So it's more like 30 minutes conversations every day, where so to even know if this idea you have at this point in time, if this is the best time to launch. Some of you might even need to like start up something else, learn from there before you can now say, I want to be my own CEO, right? So over the past 7 years building my business, there have been lots of learning experience, of course, what we choose to call failure experience, right? And this is going to be so tight because I don't even have the time to make this happen. Let me explain how tight my time is. I'm originally based in Abuja, but I'm currently in Port Harcourt, away from family, because I came in here to expand my business, and I'll be staying here for 3 months. So you understand what made me to leave family, right? So giving you this 30 minutes of my time is practically as a way of contributing towards your growth, right? So stay tuned on my timeline is a 36 days challenge where we'll be having real life conversations around how to start, how to grow, how to build capacity, and platforms where you can learn from, okay, to enable you hone your skills, become more effective as a business owner. So I'll be announcing it on my timeline on 12th of August, which is Saturday. So stay tuned and you will get notified when it is fully launched out. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for being here. And also thank you, Emeka Nobis, for the opportunity to share, leveraging on your platform. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Thank you so much, guys. Already, thank you. Yeah, Juliet is asking if it's recorded. Yes, You can come back. It's always here on my timeline. It's not going away.
And drop your questions, drop your comment, drop your
Yeah.
questions. I can
Okay.
always intermittently attend to the questions as I see it pop up. Okay.
All right, Juliet. So you can always rewatch the live stream. I'm not deleting it. It's right there on my platform. I think you're watching from LinkedIn, as I can see you on LinkedIn. So you can always come back on my timeline on LinkedIn to be able to have access to the video again and again. I'm not deleting it. They will be there forever. Okay, as long as the platform and as long as I'm there. Thank you so much, Debbie. I'm grateful for this great conversation we've had. God bless you. And to everyone who listened in, please go and take advantage of what she has taught and go and grow yourself and your business. All right. See you another time. There's always conversations on my timeline, guys. So hook up and be part of the conversation. Thank you very much and goodbye to everyone.